Why, hello.
Hi.
Oh,
Instead
wait,
of
quick, give
you.
a quick bio of yourself.
A
Introduce
bio
yourself.
myself? I mean, my
Or
name's
should I, do you want me to
Kyle.
do it?
I live in New York City, Bushwick to be exact. I used to be a working makeup artist, but makeup has become a hobby of mine. It's just something that I like to do. I used to go out when that was an option. Now I just, sit at home and play with makeup.
Listen, I
So,
think a lot of people can definitely relate to that. Your art, your face is a canvas. I
mm.
love it.
Now I'm going to take my beauty blender, or should I say my beauty sponge, because, there may be some controversy with Beauty Blender right now, so I'm not necessarily supporting them, but you can do your own research. We're not going to get political.
I love that.
Except for when it comes to sex trafficking. We can talk about that all day.
Yes.
I'm someone who used to paint my concealer on everywhere, but I've sort of been taking some tips that I've seen from makeup artists online, especially on TikTok. There's no shame in watching TikTok. We love TikTok in this house. But I've just been keeping it very light with the concealer because it can look heavy really fast. This is a new sponge by Real Techniques. I know a lot of people that use Real Techniques sponges, but this is their new powder sponge. It's kind of like velvety. The first time I used it, I didn't wet it, but this time I wet it, and I'm pretty sure that's what you're supposed to do. But before I like to set my under eye, I like to pat it out. This is a little trick that none other than Miss Jackie Ina taught me.
Ooh,
We love
we
Jackie.
stand. We stand
We
Jackie in this
love
house.
Jackie. Anyways, you kind of want to really cake it on. Again, trust the process.
Obviously, I'm sure you've gotten flack and backlash for that. And
Of
how do you deal with
course.
those situations and like that experience? Has it ever made you be like, damn, like maybe I should have been paused at certain situations or
I mean, you definitely it's definitely a wake up call, but at the same time, I've lived an entire life of that. Like growing up somewhere where everyone's predominantly white. Like there was four whole minorities in my school growing up.
he's from
Um,
Alaska, y'all, BTW.
I'm from the middle of nowhere. I was one of the only Filipino people that I known. I had one other Asian friend, and she was South Korean. So I've always dealt with hate and discrimination on different levels. But you know, wearing makeup is a choice. Being Asian and your sexuality, that's not a choice. So it's a little different when people give me flack or hate for wearing makeup because it's just well, I could hate you for having a poor sense in fashion, but I don't.
And plus, I've also been on the opposite end. We're literally like, we'll just be walking in this street and this random people just come bypass and be like, oh my God, I love your makeup. And
Yeah,
then, so like, how do those moments make you feel? Like, do you remember the first time someone's ever did that?
I don't remember the first time, but I remember when I first started, I was still new in New York, and I was going to school, and I felt the most comfortable around my peers, my classmates, and so there would be times where I went to a film school, so there was a lot of downtime, um, and there would be times where I would just do my makeup in class or during editing or something, and I would just get a lot of support from people in my school, and then eventually I started posting more, and yeah, now it's just become a lifestyle, I guess.
Yeah,
So yeah,
essentially.
it's all because of YouTube. I will say that everything that I know I learned from YouTube or my friends, my really close friends like Jasmine. You can totally teach yourself without knowing how to do your makeup. I think a lot of people just sort of disregard the idea of getting into makeup just because they don't know. But I didn't
Oh,
know
not that
makeup. I
because I
didn't know
don't know.
anything about makeup 4 years ago.
But what made you decide? Like, were you just randomly on YouTube and then you're like, oh, I saw this video.
Jackie
Oh, I like
Ina.
it.
I
Okay.
literally watched every Jackie Ina video. I know we don't talk about her, but I also watched a lot of Tati's videos.
Listen, the
Um,
past is the past.
I could do my makeup every day, but I could use barely any concealer, and that will last me a year. And then there are people that buy new concealer every 2 months.
Oh,
So
yeah. So it depends on
it
your
just
use and how
depends,
it's used. How about expiration date? Do you take that stuff seriously?
You know I do. There are certain products where it's if an eyeshadow says it's going to expire in a year, I'm just okay. But then, like, there are certain things like skincare is really important to follow the expiration date with because certain ingredients go bad and it has the complete opposite effects and it'll break you out and things like that. So just be really careful. I know there's like this whole new trend with like super clean ingredients and stuff, and I'm all for that. But you have to like really be mindful that like most of those products really do only last like 6 months, and then after that they're no good.
Chi mentioned hemp is the future, and that, funny enough, ties along with my question. Was like with the resurgence, I guess.
Resurgence, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's not really a resurgence because CBD wasn't really involved in beauty. But do you feel or see the difference with products with CBD versus without CBD? Do you think it's all just a marketing scam? Like,
I think for sure it's a marketing technique.
yeah,
I wouldn't
I'm
say
just being
scam.
dramatic saying scam.
But it's definitely a marketing technique. It's never like CBD. It's always like hemp seed extract, and then they label that as CBD. I like to see it. I think it's nice that it's being normalized, especially in the beauty community. I think hemp is the future in a sense that like hemp can be used for literally anything. It can be used to make like what do you call it? Ecologically friendly plastics and stuff like that. It can be used
Yeah.
for oils. A lot of hemp is used in like the base solutions for like shampoos, conditioners, and other skincare ingredients already. It's always been like on the hush because of the stigma with marijuana. But now it's like becoming more public that hemp is literally used for everything. Even, believe it or not, I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but they tried building a hemp wall like for the border, and then the hemp wall was the first thing that like failed. Like it just didn't work. But you
Wouldn't it
know,
gone on fire? Like,
they made like hemp cement basically. Which I mean, if in the right hands and the right minds, that probably would work. But you know, again, not gonna get
not gonna
political.
get political.
So now the next thing I'm going to take for my eyes is this quad by Pat McGrath. It's called her Blitz Astral quad, but it looks like that. Can you guys guess what shade I'm going to use?
Green.
Mention it in the comments down below.
Oh, damn, sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. No, I am going to use the green. Now what I like to do is I like to take it with my finger, this shade specifically, just because it looks better when you use your finger. Look at that. Wow. And then I just gently pat it on top of my eye. It's best to use your ring finger just because it's your most... It's like, it has the softest touch, you know? But yeah, this is literally it. This is the whole eye look. This is it.
Perfect.
I just want to show...
You got your mask?
Listen, I have a piece of tissue to simulate because masks are a hot commodity right now.
That is very true, y'all. It is very true.
Listen, my skin still looks glowy.
A lot of matte.
Listen, yeah, a lot of matte, but here is a clean tissue. If I did this with my normal makeup routine, it would literally be the color of my skin. But nothing's coming off.
No, that's true. I've been there. Boom. That's
I don't know what else you want. I don't know what else you want to see.
What made you realize that you're kind of done with makeup professionally and you just want to only see it as a hobby and only want to treat it as a hobby?
I mean, I don't know how to put it into words.
Describe the feeling.
I guess it's just doing my own makeup, like, is something that I enjoy doing. I could literally do it for 3 hours. And it'll feel like an hour, but when you're doing someone else's makeup, you're breathing the same air, you know, it's New York. It's kind of hard to, like, it's not that it's hard, but for me, I like to just do what I want. Like, I'd like to be as creative as possible. And then most of my clients typically wanted makeup that just looked very natural or, like, didn't even look like they were wearing makeup at all. And everyone has their own preferences when it comes to like products and stuff. Right. So you have to like learn what they like and then use products that they can use. And for me, it's just, I know how my skin goes and, you know, I can look like a clown if I want to, but I'm not going to make someone pay to look like a clown, you know?
See ya. Thank you, locals.
Bye.
Ciao.